you said some of the promises that your party made were not time-bound.
Yes.
So let me just read out a couple of them. 720,000 jobs by the 36 states in the Federation yearly. This is the second year that's going out, 20,000 per state. To provide 3 million jobs per year. To empowerment scheme to employ 740,000 graduates across the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory. As I'm sure you say NGAP is there. Establishment of free establishment of a free tuition and scholarship scheme for pupils who have shown exceptional aptitude. Revival of Ajokuta Steel Company. Implementation of the national gender policy, including 35% of appointee positions for women. Ban on all government officials from seeking medical care abroad.
Okay.
Let's just look at those ones as we wind down.
Well, as we wind down, I can tell you all of those promises were also based on some some index. We didn't, the kind of thing that the president saw when he entered was not what he expected. He thought that there were normal people who were doing normal things because they come out flamboyantly. So we assumed that the house was in order. But when we entered the house, it was a tattered, worn-out house that they met. And so they have to, first of all, try to block all the leakages in the house, which resulted in the formation of this Treasury TSA. So in doing that, you can't, until you fix that.
The TSA was started by the previous administration.
They didn't have the
implementation started.
They didn't have the gut because of the level of stealing. They will never have started any TSA. The idea was formulated, they never, and they would have never back on TSA, because TSA will not allow any NPC to have 38 accounts abroad.
So how is it that the NNPC does not even send money to that TSA you talked about?
No, they send, but not all, because there are, for instance, this.
You did say they send, but not all, and the Senate has to summon them to come and explain why their account is not part of TSA.
No, I think I'm not in a position to talk about it, but that they have to be importing fuel. It means they need money all the time to import that fuel. So if you put their money in the TSA, there will be more queues on the road. So, like everything you have read, there is none that we are not going to deliver. Just give us some time. We're going to deliver on all these promises. And very soon, the Minister for Information will come here. You can ask him. He has the data of all the things we have done, the number of employment. We have employed a lot of people. The Empower is going on. The feeding program is going on, at least in selected states. My state is involved. But it's just that because they were being handled by the PDP, they make sure that they downplay the success of that era.
Okay, let me take you back to the points at which, as a lawmaker, of course, you were also part of the House, and you say that the president met very deep rot in there, even though you were part of the purported, what you say, the rot that the president found. So what would you say, now that SERAP, for instance, has come up with the idea to make Mr. President present a bill to the National Assembly that will force the oil distribution apparatus in the country to make sure that Nigerians have access to fuel at all times. What's your views to that?
I won't support that kind of bill, because the issue of Nigeria is not about lawmaking; it's more about enforcement. If you pass all the laws and we don't have people to enforce them, we're back to square one. So a bill by SERAP that will make the fuel to be what would that? Will that be build refineries for us? Will that bill stop the people who are diverting the fuel on the road? Well, what would that be do for us as Nigerians? We can't oversaddle the National Assembly with all kinds of bills. If somebody cough today, you go to the National Assembly to go and pass a bill not to cough.
But that's their work.
No, the work, you can't reduce the work of the National Assembly to mundane little things. They have to deal with policy issue, things that are sustainable.
For Nigeria to have access to petrol is a mundane issue.
Are you not having access to petrol now?
No, I don't. My tank is actually empty, and that's why a lot of people are concerned, as SERAP is concerned, saying that let us have a law that mandates, that enforces that petrol must be made available to the Nigerian people. And you don't support that kind of bill?
Okay, let's put it this way. Gimba, let me ask. Would it be right to say that the National Assembly should put out a law or something that says no government house should have a depot within the environment of the government so that they go out to the public place to buy fuel and see how it bites. Do you think that will work?
Why not to work? Let them go and queue up and go through. We are all going through. You see, the irony sometimes when people say you are APC, you are PDP. Suffering knows no PDP, no APC. When you go to the filling station there, is there anybody, those smart queue that are there? If you introduce yourself as APC, would they give you fuel? Or you introduce yourself as PDP, would that give you fuel? When there's no fuel, there's no fuel. Suffering knows no bound. So what we ought to do is not passing laws that will ensure that there is fuel. You know that that is not practicable. Because if you pass the law today and our refineries are not working, what is the impact of that law? Then why don't you sanction the people are there and let, instead of the press giving them award? Every day that you read paper, you see award from this man of the year, governor of the year. You know, when they are owing their workers.
As a former lawmaker,
yes.
You know, they were at this point where the senators summoned Kachuku, Dr.
Yes.
Kachuku and Mr. Baru to look at the reasons why we're having this kind of situation. What do you think is going to come out of that kind of meeting?
Well, I expect something positive will come out because the National Assembly is very responsible for most of the policy issues. So maybe there are things they have seen that I'm yet to see as the man on the seat, and both of them will be able to explain their situation. When Dr. Ibe Kachuku handled this same office in the last 2 years, there was no single shortage, no single queue on the road. We never even, Christmas came, we celebrated 2015 Christmas, 2016 Christmas, there was no single queue. So it shows the person who is on the seat now is not working, or either is not working or is lazy, or he does not understand the job.
That's an emergency.
I saw him dispensing petrol on the road. That's not his job. That's the job of
be an emergency. But this meeting will be sometimes in the first week of January. Don't you think you should be holding now?
Well, everybody is out now trying to see that there is fuel first. You know, you need to first salvage the baby before you start blaming anybody. For now, let us, all of us, including the press, work together to ensure that there is press. And if you have any, if you see any iota of people who say they are holding, for me, I believe nobody can hold fuel. Because if you supply me one tank and there is another tank waiting to deliver, well, how can I hold more? It is when these things are in short of supply, business craft people will come in and begin to do all sorts of things to punish Nigerians, and it's really a pity that we are punishing ourselves in this country. And it's only in Nigeria that this can happen.
Mr. Solomon Edoja, former member of the House of Representatives, also member of the government support group of the APC. Many thanks indeed for talking to us.
Thank you very much.